Uh, yep, I am. I, I can see my chat, and chat will also be here on the screen in a minute. It should be here. It should appear. Yes, it is right there. That is good. Now, uh, today, a friend of mine told me about a thing. A friend of mine told me that there is a good force or CP programming that extension for Neovim, which I can use this one, assistant.nvim, and today I'll see how it works. I already added it yesterday. Uh, we'll do it this without Linux. Login assistant, right? This is the one. And hello, Good Forces community. I want to introduce my new plugin designed for competitive programming to automate the process of testing same sample cases. Features automatic sample fetching, automatic sample fetching. That is good. Custom samples. Okay. Clean and simple UI, easy, extensible. You can further get the further information about the plugin here. Okay. Let me get the further information. I'm the friend of yours. Yes, you are a friend of mine. Here I can see further information, features about benefits for new and automated test case management, easily fetch and organize test cases from online judges, customizable, customizable execution commands, interactive UI, asynchronous processing. Yeah, this latest version, yes, I already copied and pasted this default configuration. And how am I supposed to use this? How does it work? Go there. Uh, this is a guess, so I don't know to stop this. This person goes there and does something. So, how to make this active? How to get this floating window? Speed is crucial in competitive programming. It is keys leader A. Okay, okay. Latest version is keys leader A. I am using it for harpoon, so I will see this there. Configurations. Extension commands. There is a command CPP leader command, leader A, and then command assistant CR description assistant. Leader A, I won't be able to use here. Let me change leader A to CPP. That's cool. Leader CPP. That is cool. Review panel plugins and commands and CPP. Yeah, what do I do next after making this active? Sources CPP and Python. Okay, this thing test case. Wait, how did it get the test case on its own? Emacs attach target CPP. This is the newer one. And yes, uh, command CPP, CPP and diff mode Actually, I think it automatically fetches the thing. P, where is there also an extension for GPU? It says it's around that problem. There is an error. Need to change the video resolution. The resolution is this, which is not supported from this condition. The expected result. Resolution stream has error. While computing poor. Stream status is poor. Seems good. Yeah, as expected. Yeah. Uh, and new import process extension and also that CP31 sheet. This is the extension. I do not have to use the mouse. Yep. So again, the GitHub link is here. Let open and another website, I guess. It disappeared. New import process extension. Okay, this is on. This I'm not doing, but this is also one which I can use. Let's see how this one works. Okay. Yeah, she has written the code here. Then conditions of all tests. This will break the solution. Test current. That is a command in for this extension. I will have to get this plugin in Neovim and stop using the one and delete the one that I have already installed. Suspend and one. This will bring a solution. Once done, let me see how this one works. Code forces Neovim. This is specific to the code forces. This is expect this expected config dependencies return that is the lazy file and then uses this one has much better documentation. Again, need uh, delete this. Yep. Yep. Delete that one. And this is called code forces. You know, code forces your base dependencies, plenary, which I already have. Then code enum setup. The keys. Is being downloaded. Cannot read directly from read only file system. Config. If there is a problem somewhere, and then thing, then editor. Again, boxes. Line 7. New line 1 was that lazy plugin line 50 and line 17, and this line number line number 16 below this line. Python 3, I will not use Python for there is an it's like there is a code forces extractor. Please follow the instructions here. What is code forces extractor? We Python. So they have a compiler for Python. It's fine. Who paths to desired code forces filter? From root. Okay. User users me slash documents programming code forces. Right. That is good. And I guess Python was not a mistake. Like I didn't try to remove Python when I had this. Uh, this okay. What I had with mm, being forces to this one of the latest ones. I can do this. Select start select yes. P and with yeah, um, select paste. It does what? Oh, it looks like you didn't installed Pulse Extractor. Pulse Extractor. Installing code. Key, I have to install this thing. Now, using this plugin is very easy. You need to follow these steps. This tool is to extract. Check my chat from time to time. Shit, connection is poor. It is supposed to be excellent, but it is poor. So, you need to change the video resolution. What does that mean? It was like, just fine yesterday. You need to change the video resolution. The current resolution is this 26881680, which is not supported for this configuration. Expected video resolution is such accuracy is 25601422. 25601422. Wait, this is the one, but I have to change it. Well, I will change it later in the next question. I think 25601420. It is the basic resolution. Um, okay, now I have to install this Rust library package. This tool is used to extract problem information from code forces. It is written in Rust. It is working pretty fast. You can use it as a separate tool and probably as a library with some modifications. If you have other ideas anyway for Neovim purposes, you just need to install the tool to your path. You can do this with this cargo install from this here. If you are able to run code forces extract to help without any errors, then attach and paste. which run, cargo, and after that, if you are able to run this without any errors, you are good to go. The plugin will check if 446 extractor is in your path. If you have done a local installation, you need to pass extractor path equal to this to set a function you have seen above. Okay, that would be global. Boom. It's- It just has cargo internally. Okay. Set of templates. This step is very important. The CF path you provide in setup CF path. CF path you provided in setup will be used to check if you have any templates on CF path contests templates director. What is CF path? CF path, the second one, paths to desired force. No? CF forces. Mhm. Directly, if you set up your extension to be CPP, for instance, you need to have a file. Uh, temp slash template dot cpp. You can place multiple templates for different languages. Here, if you are writing in many languages and switching between them very often, setting up the plugin. We are almost done. As you, this step is very important. See that path you provided in setup will be used to check if you have any templates in this directory. If you set up your extension to vcpp, for instance, you need to have a file at this template.cpp. How would that template file look? We are almost done. As you can also agree, you need to let the plugin know what commands to run for compilation by running by running. By default for CPP, which is the language most competitive programmers use, it will use the following compilation command. Right. Okay. Okay. Here at the rate acts as the current problem. Example CP, etc. The default run command for CPP is this. Okay, default run command is this. If you have custom language that you would like to use, hopefully not Java, you can follow this example about to write. Yeah, ready to go. Okay, you are ready to go. You need to start your journey by running this uh, contest ID. Here, contest ID refers to contest ID slash problems for a code process contest 179. Okay. This is not a contest, this is just a problem. You need to run this enter contest, for example, this. If everything goes nicely, this will fetch problems using code extractor to this contest. Copy your template to this for each problem and open up the first problem for you in your terminal testing your code. There are three different ways. I do not want to use this for contest. Well, I would like to use this for contest, but not here. Neovim is best editor to start CP. To start CP. Yes, Neovim is amazing. Right, it is amazing. And very customizable, lightweight, and you know what is happening inside the inner workings. Everything like the LSP, the tree settings, and all that. I added this feature so that if you have a custom test you want to run, you can do this one time and run it again and again. Okay, I think this is not going to work. The problems are for contest, not problem. This tutorial above is not for contest. Is this one for contest? Is, is this just a problem? There is a voice. Test current. So break this up. Very fast. Typing speed. Mm-hmm. Which I will look into it later. But For now, let me write some code. Hmm. Control rules still being installed. I can use I think the original extension assistant.neovim was better. Assistant dot single that one she assistant with Apache license. One second Apache license. But you don't get use happens in our team or something. Automated test case management. We completed keep nine. Nine. Stable version. Stable version is just there. You don't have to you don't have to and then inside options, I guess. But I would like to change the leader from leader A to leader CPP. And this one is to go beautiful. And again, delete this. Yep. And we can do file called present and open dot this. And it will be a different type. Let me in this. I have to return. I will leave this X and these and Neovim again they will be downloaded. A fresh assistant Neovim. And let's go. This we also attach target CP. Uh, uh, get Neovim was already there. Now what do is I have to change this key from A to CP. Coming back and get CPP. And we will reload Neovim here. It's CPP. And yes, I have the extension now. This extension on it. And access this access to this site. Shoot. How did they got connected? So why do I still have that window on the side? Space. Oh, I don't know. I still have that. Why am I not seeing anything? Right. Enter new name with any name. Move it right. Select CPP and it was already there. For me, but it's not here. It's five now. It's almost full. Cargo is next. Um, open this. Go to the problem. Do this. There. Select CPP. Okay. Now it does work. Okay. Okay. It opens it on its own. This. This. Me. How do I run the rest? Um, yeah. Option command assistant CR Command. Do I have to type something there? Command assistant. Assistant. How do I run it? Run this thing. Python CVP execute its input handling extension null extension CVP UI single calls. There is no okay. Is this to only get tests? No, no, it won't be accepted. Right, select CPP, right command line. That was command line. What did it do? Enter, enter, mm, no, I want select and then I will do which what do I have here? Compiling. Does it do on its own? Does it work on use of undeclared identify IO stream? Why is it undeclared? Then Marcus, brother Marcus is here. How to start competitive programming? There is this I myself am starting competitive programming. I do not know anything about it. This sheet called CP13, which I am solving. You can do the same. It's, I know. There is error, but why am I seeing this error? Why MSP is blank D? Yes, it should work. It should work. Use of undeclared word. Okay, my LSP is blank D, but the one which this is using is not blank D. What is that? To change the default settings. It is using using the new compiler. Change that. But is the CPP extension right? We is not only blank plus everything volume extension output was this. And now I guess it should work. Branch stable. Wait, I don't think it has to come inside options. I think it will work as it is. Yes, we will continue. And hey, hello, me to this thing. Uh, running the whole thing. Start a new item. Start open it there. Then I do start first. But there, people, this in film should have asked for something. I am inside film, but it has not. It's anything. Then hello, yeah, this is not GPT. Now, should I, and I do not understand how these two are talking to each other. My browser and Neovim. That is a mystery. So, hey bro, keep growing. I am also starting this very soon. Yes, that is cool. Uh, Streaming is cool because it is not for the viewer mostly, it is for me because I am explaining things. I think I am explaining things and also I'm speaking in English, which is also pretty good and helping me. And soon enough, I will also get a mic and yeah, do better things. Memory limit first. So, okay, is it because I didn't save this thing? Save and right here. It's infiniteness. Wow. Then boxes. I should not get this error. Why am I getting this error? Anxious plus. Okay. Throughout. Uh, wait. Oh, yeah. No. Well, please should compile. It does. No grammatical error there. I'm not seeing any of it. The thing is installed. Right? Assistant new. Yep. Yep. Data simplicity. Not an editor command. Assistant. Assistant.neovim mappings. This is all this thing. Whereas this has to go. This default configuration. I have to make a separate config file. So, this and other things. Dressing.setup input into this method. Config. Okay, config has to be a function which requires the same thing, dressing. Then inside that setup, I have to provide all of this. Okay, makes sense. Um, configure scale function, which first imports. Yeah, and yeah, this is how we use Part-2. Okay, yeah, this has been config required. Why am I supposed to do it again and again? Right, this maybe capital A. This thing, not this. This internally has to taken this. Yeah, this should work now. or it shouldn't function this mobile assistant not will work. Okay, okay, I have to change the name. Assistant not should work or it shouldn't. If I name it assistant.y, but before that, anything from go assistant.so, assistant.so source object, assistant. Is there something else named assistant? No file, no file. I didn't find the file assistant.y, A-S-I-S-T-A-N-T, A-S-I-S-T-A-N-T, A-S-I-S-T-A-N-T.y, and that's what the name I gave here, assistant.y. Hmm. Maybe small a is, and let's B. Okay, this here, now I can put this, and hopefully, yep, it is there. So, this is the thing that it gave me, and do the whole thing, delete everything, and then remove this, remove everything with as TPP, and enter Neovim, click here, next, yeah, delete when I think there is something that I have to press to make it work. Okay, jump off, sure, that is very pessimistic name. Never private these streams. Okay, hey bro, I have a question and you help me out. Yes, I will try my best and I will not private these streams. The chat looks fine, I guess, on my screen. That is cool. And you can ask your questions, whatever it is. I'll do what I can. It's cases. It is not working. It's funktioniert nicht. Es ist in Deutsch. Ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen. It's not working. Finger. Uh, uh, basically, right. And I think most of the things that I'm saying is very cryptic to you guys because it only makes sense to me what I'm saying. So yeah, hi, hello, Junaid Khan, hello. I can make a few jokes, but okay, I will not. Uh, okay, that is the default thing that comes up by CPP by the extension. Yeah, yeah, okay. We can get on this one. Maybe something here. Extension, you want commands, okay, CPP. Because if now let's say change this to CPP, is what I'm seeing there on my screen. Let's copy my thing. I can paste it here. Yes, I can paste it there. Let's quick remove and new enter in there. Yeah, now I'm seeing three things. This is on CPP yes. And your voice is pretty bad. Yeah, uh, I mean the audio quality. Yeah, audio quality. Not the voice, as in like your voice. Yeah, I'm planning to get a mic. Planning does not do anything. On Monday, my mic will arrive, and my laptop is running out of battery. I'll just get my charger. Just wait a minute. I got my charger. And what level max question did you solve on code quizzes? 800. That is, I have just started. I haven't done anything. This is the problem that I have solved here, and that is all. And yeah, yesterday is the first time. First time, yeah, yesterday is the first time that I started doing code forces. And before that, I was only testing, and that was, I guess, 5 or 6 months ago. Yeah, this is all I have for now. How do I get this started? This more. Okay, this start Neovim, go there, press on that, select CPP, and paste your solution. Okay, and go there, and it automatically starts compiling. But it is not compiling for me. Let me just remain on this screen for a while. You can change this back to GNU C compiler. Uh, C++. I don't know if I can compile with GNU C compiler. G++. I don't think I have it. I do have it. A G++ runs Clang itself. That is cool. Are you giving ZCO this year? I do not know what ZCO is. That's legend. Gigabyte ZCO of chemical amount. I don't think that is the thing we are talking about. ZCO and um, programming, or maybe misspelled ZCO is only being Olympiad. Okay, Zone Computing Olympiad, a programming competition for students in India. It is a general round. It is a regional round used to select participants for the international for the Indian National Olympiad. Informatics INOI 0 in that could also be a disorder for a specific year. Okay, this zonal computing Olympiad. This is the first time that I've heard this thing. This looks cool. I'll look into it. And then with the questions of CP13. I have just started, and I have only done one question CP30, and that is at the lowest possible question. That is at 800. That's all. Stumbled on your channel. You do DSA tutorials. No, I just program and I stream. And if you want to watch, you can watch me streaming. And that is all. That is the whole point. This channel is here to so that I speak and I push myself further than I would normally when I'm not streaming. Bro stumbled upon my channel. That is good. Paste. That is all. that makes more sense. And auto line here, and auto line in this case. And yes, 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 then, and then whatever, yes. Neovim is. Shit, I can use a micro for this. Uh, how can I start a micro? Record and start a micro in Neovim. Not a micro. There are registers to record and replay a micro in Neovim. You start recording by pressing Q, okay, followed by a register letter, example A. Okay. Then perform your desired actions and finally press Q again to stop recording. Okay. To play the micro, uh, use at the rate followed by the register letter. Okay. That is Q A recording, this A enter and Q and Q. Okay. Now I want to play this. Let's say how many times? One, one time for every semicolon that I see. Two, one, one, two, three, 5 times. We go to the start of the line and five at the rate eight. That is awesome. Vim micros. One more thing. Yeah, this is this while this yeah, yeah, while testing less. And then standard and this is fine. That is fine. Transform here. While okay, wait, not a okay, this is yeah, like, this whole thing is inside here. This while also is inside here. And then else goes to the next line. While this goes here and this goes here. It's there and then first we can do second this and then the next video of it and then go on new now. Let's wait for again. On the chat. Zonal Computing Olympiad. Voice is not clear, but yes, I will get a microphone on Monday. I have ordered it, or I'm about to order it after the stream, and I will get it on Monday. That will be cool. And the stream is going. I hope it is good. That is cool. Okay, now I know about micros. So to summarize about micros, I can press. I can press. Let's say I want to remove every line. I want to record a micro, so I can do to start recording a micro Q, and now the name of the restaurant I want to record that micro Q. Is there been right a few times, and then insert mode down, exit, and exit the micro. And now I want to play that. Let's say 24 times for every time that I've got 24 lines, one for each time that I've got here, and 24 like at the rate. Okay. The micros, and I can do it also that. But this is a preset. This is a history plugin, which are in view to content viewers. I guess yeah, yeah. The main thing is I am unable to get this thing is not HPS. This plugin. I guess assistant Neovim. So it is very much reading assistant not Neovim. So it is there are reading. Reading like there. Distance. Most things. Environment. Share documentations. Very valuable. Actually, more about assistant. It's better than me because I just play this. I guess the gift. We don't have much of it. I'm trying to do this customization. This is all the explanation that I have. Default key maps. emails are keys, mappings, dialog, panel. Mappings can be customized by mapper. Assistant art actions. Control Y and run this thing. Command and answer key are the two things. If we compare the shell commands with an written command and voice, we can easily write another command for rest files. Let us see as well the compile that is. Uh, on your CPP, run this command and this is the description for that command assistant. CR. Even team remove this one, remove this one, remove this one, this, back, add this, and I can now switch between them very fast, very quickly. Voice is not clear. This is not clear. That's just budget. What do I have budget? 20 order it more. So it's fine. It is fine as it is. It's not very smooth. I'm going to figure out one little thing. Actions, smell, and the thing that I'm trying to figure out is how do I run go back to this? I say B, yeah, I am B, and I have the excuses and everything, but it isn't run due to some reason. Cannot like the type option is set. How do I run control control A, but that would become cartoon. This might be off. It is the key with another this special key. Optimized release of resistant movement. Let's unlock your calendars. Very video demo. Sure, I will also be back. It's a full demo. These are action standard. You can press 1.0 this program is not useful. Is not a useful use case for me. Any reflection on this release a brief explanation. Okay, update the post will with explanation. This just for but I'm unable to figure it out. So, but the key is empty. I can calculate what is the plan. I don't know. Problem is solved. I still think sharing. It's going to make this work in the video is working on its own. Yes, yes. Go there. Select the source. That's it. And while I this, it does work on its own. Not on TSLS. Why? Look on TSLS. Let me see. Okay. This video fix have been dropped, but that's cool. But the frame rate is embarrassingly low. Mm, yes. I will look at it now. Right now, in the screen, let me choose this. Simply, yes. And yes, my friend told me to include something, something like there was a very similar to it, sorry, he probably when he quoted and pasted about this bits slash cd standard C++ attached bits slash my phone. A bit is a file. STDC include bit set is a file itself it does not include bit is that what my just include that entity and inside this the first thing is going to be number int e and standard is in cn is cn and then I do minus the book function which will primary solver will also and in this one I will solve my thing. Let's see. There is a road which can be represented as a numbered line. You are located in the point 0 of the number line and you want to travel from the point 0 to the point x and back to point 0. Okay, go there, come back. You travel by road which spends 1 liter of gasoline per 1 unit of distance traveled. Okay, x equal to y. When you start at point 0, your car is fully fueled. Okay, its gas tank contains the maximum possible amount of fuel. There are n gas stations located in points A1, A2 until AN. When you arrive at a gas station, you fully refuel your car. Note that you can refuel only at a gas stations, and there are no gas stations in point. Okay, there are no gas stations at 0 and x. Okay, you have to calculate the minimum possible volume of gas tank in your car in liters that will allow you to travel from the point 0 to the point x and back to the point x 0. Minimum possible that would be okay, considering the gas stations in between. The first line contains one integer between 1 and 1000 and they are inclusive. The number of test cases, okay, each test case consists of two lines. Okay, first one is 37, then is 36, then is 110. The first line contains two integers x n and x. N is between 1 and 50 inclusive and x is between 2 and 100. Okay, the second line contains n into n itself. Okay, okay, makes sense. Okay, okay. In the solver, I can say int n and x and standard n. The first one will go to the first one will go to n. I think this should work. N and x. The first one will go to n and the second one will go to x. I hope I will do them out immediately. And that um, you do not want to remove this and a line trip. It's going to have emas. I can use mas. Line to use a line trip. And the first thing is 5. 5 is the number of hits. Then 1 is 3. And I should see 1 3. I do see 1 3. So it is okay. That is good. That is what I wanted. Now, when I have x and n, then in the next line I have n. Okay, and I have x. X is the point where I want to reach, and n is the number of gas stations I have in between. So in every on every gas station. I have to tell what is the minimum amount of fuel at the starting point. You have to calculate the minimum possible volume of tank in your car in liters that will allow you to travel from point zero to x, zero to the point x and back to the point minimum amount of fuel. Okay. If I start from in the first place, here I have a the output is 4 due to some reason, and it is because I have 3 gas stations and I want to reach 7. So if I have 4 liters of gas in my tank, I would like this travel to the point 1, then your car's tank contains 3 liters of fuel. Yes. Refuel at point 1, then your car tank contains 4 liters of fuel. Okay. Then at point 2, car again contains 3 liters and I refuel contains 4 now. And then I go to 5. Now it would contain 1 liter of fuel, and from 5. Okay, so look, I have to find the minimum amount overall. Overall, the maximum amount of not the maximum, in each trip. I have to, yeah, I understand. But I have to find. I have to figure out how to write this thing in code. So, I have to explain what I'm saying. That is the whole point of this system. So in this, I have to find out, you have to calculate the minimum possible volume of the tank in your car in liters that will allow you to travel from point 0 to x and then back to x. And by minimum possible amount, they mean what is the minimum possible amount that I would need to start with, and yeah, and which I can also maintain throughout my journey to get to x and then back to point 0. So if I have x and I have n, what do I do? First of all, I know for a fact that I have to go at least to the next point. So this is easy. Uh, I will take, let's I am in the starting at point 0, and then scale drop. Yep, I am at a point, and then I have to at least get to the next point. That is my least prior priority. That is my highest priority and least minimum thing that I have to do. And then from that point get to the next point, and then from that point get to the next point, and then at the end I have to whatever the last few gas station is. From that I have to go to the X point and then back to that point, and whatever it is, the maximum amount of gasoline, the distance, maximum amount of distance that I am traveling, that will be my answer. So it's why and minus that is the amount of time that I have to do this. Yes. Uh, so let me declare one in in C. So this is a complicated program, so it's quite fast. This one practice. So I'm going to see. Okay. Also maximum. Right. I have the current, and I also need to have the last one. Current and last one is L, and initially L is equal to 0, right? And here max equal to current minus last. And I also have to see if this is the last loop. If this is the last loop, then I have to do something special. For that, I will go through this one this time. This if this minus this is greater than max, mark, then max equal to C minus L, otherwise equal to max equal to, and after that last equal to current, and current will get the new value. Okay, and yes, after this will run till the last gas station, and if I do see the and to see here I get the location of the last gas station, and for that I have to do something different than what I have done today. For that I have to do if 2 into x minus c, if 2 into x minus c greater than max, then max would be equal to x minus c. Otherwise, max and e out max new life, and this was, but it does not. The plugin is not working due to some reason. The scene is change the position of things. It is overlapping the back. Okay, so let me put in things manually. Plus, I use plus. Line plus line for the check. Here's the output. Output is 374. Okay, 437. 10, 7 is the last line. 374. 374. And then 364. And then 1106. That is not how it is supposed to work. Alright, here. Standard out max. Right, y and plus. And put in something manual. Or maybe not. Did I get the answer? No. Out 3 and not spaces. 3 space 7. Right. 7 to million. Okay, 3 7. Okay, okay. That is 3 7. Okay, okay, okay. I get it. I was doing this standard out there. Okay, that was my simple problem. And now, okay, let's see some. Now it should work. Even I didn't get it. I didn't notice this. The answer is 4 4 6, which is not the correct answer. The correct is 4 3 7, not 4 4 6. What did I got? 4 4 6. Let's see. And first one is correct. In the second one, 3 gas stations and 6 is the destination. Okay. Let's okay. And starting from the first, my algorithm will say will start from 0 and go to 1. You'll see that 0 and 1. There is a difference of 1. Maximum will be 1, and then you go from 1 to 2, and the maximum will be 2. Okay. And from 2 to 3, the maximum will be 3. The answer should be 3 according to my algorithm, but it is not. And then it turns out my algorithm says 4 due to some reason. And in the next one, it says 6 instead of 7. Hmm. Wait, it says 6. But there, wait, it should say 14. No, it should say 7. Why is it saying 6? Let's see. And shit, it is newer. And yeah, 9. Yeah. Using namespace standard, current minus last. If it is greater than max, max equal to that, and last will be equal to the current. Does that make sense? Yes. And let's take another second case. Starting from the starting, last is equal to 0. Excluding, that is the line. Last is equal to 0, and 0 minus 1 current. Okay. 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 Do I get it? It's fine. It's fine. Number 3 and 7, the next thing I will get is 1 in the current. So current is 1 and last is 0, which is okay. I have to initialize max equal to 0, 2. But that C++ is not, it handles it on itself, so that is not the error, right? And here it will be Cn, right? C becomes equal to 1, and 1 minus 0 is 1, which is greater than max, because max is 0, and then so I'll get C minus L, that is 1, right? After that, into 2, max becomes equal to 1, and L becomes equal to 1, because C is 1, and then in the next iteration, I get the next thing, and which is 2 in the second test piece, I get 2. So C becomes equal to 2, and L is 1 from the last case, and C minus L, 2 minus 1 is 1, and 1 is not greater than max, therefore I get max equal to 1 because the expression value. Then L becomes equal to C, C's current value, which is 2, and in the next iteration, I'm going to go through the next iteration because N is already equal to 0 in this case. Therefore, I pass out of the loop, and outside, I see C becomes equal to the last number, which is 5. Okay, my bad. My bad. Yes, my bad. This has to be like this because I didn't simulate going from second last case to the last case. That is the problem. So here I do not have to do this. C is already equal to the last one. Right, now it should work. line the first section. This is here and fourth reason, which is the correct answer. The answer might be so which I forces contests. Wait, what? It's in tables where I didn't want programming. That is called this is called forces contests. Wait, no, competitive programming is a code. Yeah, competitive programming. Yep. 800 level like that. And it is about and there's all I can do and stream right. It's okay. It's cool. It should also be here. Fish. Now put in water. So these two are easy. Yes, now I have to figure out something. Why did when I was doing this include bit slash stdc plus image this thing what is this thing trade what we want and this plus library. The C++ header is not a standard C++ library, it is a non-standard GCC specific header. GCC specific header often used in competitive program. Let's break it down into it. It has what does this do? It is a mega header that includes almost all standard C++ headers in one line. So you don't have to include them one by one while I'm programming in competitive things. In fact, it is like writing all of this and doesn't split. So it saves typing during competitive programming on this or quick prototyping. That is cool. So since you do not want to waste your time in including libraries, you include one big library. Is that how the time restrictions are? Where does it come from? It is defined by GCC in this. How do I take this library and put this header file inside my standard file? It is not portable. It won't work with Clang. I have Clang, and that is what I use, or even some non-GCC setups. Yeah. Okay. When in competitive programming learning environments, include only what you need, like this alternative best practice. Okay. When I include C plus package, then I am including all those libraries, even the ones which are not using in the current program. Then doesn't it slow down? Doesn't it slow down code? So it has this much bulk in it. Pre the pre-concept C++ and you will have a turnout in it which is not required by code, right? Excellent question. And yes, you are thinking exactly the right direction. You are correct when you include this thing. You are including a massive set of errors, most of which your program might never use. That does increase the pre-processing and compilation time, but it does not slow down the runtime execution of your program. Let's separate those two phases clearly. That makes sense. It will take time in pre-processing because it has to include all of those big source code files in your zip file, and then compilation also will take a lot bit longer because it has to compile this big source code file. Compilation time, including unused headers, forces the preprocessor to expend thousands of lines of code, causes the compiler to parse types, templates, and declarations that your code never touches, can increase the memory usage of the compiler itself, and cause longer rebuild times, especially on larger projects. So this is where the cost is. It is in the compilation time. In the runtime, once the program is compiled, the compiler only includes in the binary what you actually use. The linker discards anything that is not referenced. That is cool. Unused templates and instantiations and inline functions are not emitted in the final binary. That is cool. Audio not clear. Shit, my bad. I will get a mic on Monday. And I will get a mic on Monday. And I just think that it's a chat you can find there. I will make some changes. Just like design as it is. Audio is not clear. I'm audio clear. Audio is not clear. This is what I didn't write down because it's random. It's a noise gate. Noise gate. What noise? Question. Different noise gate. CPU. Yes, most CPU users, so my CPU is only being used 9% of the time. Then my gate. Hmm. Yes, this is fine. And if anyone is watching this thing, you can ignore what is better now. Please, I am this. I don't think this is what I need. Okay, this one. Yes, that would make my team better. Basically, this. Nice like this, and I don't have to do this. Yeah. Now, moving on to the next problem. Question next. What and what? Yeah. CD this computer program in main is CD uh, using namespace CD set content P PN P and Y P and this is the word is a load function. What is the solver function? It is here given anything. Just another main question. Philip has a row of cells, some of which are blocked and some are empty. He wants all row cells, single row, an array, I guess, and some are empty, some of which are blocked and some are empty. He wants a row of cells. He wants to. He wants all the empty cells to have water in them. He has two actions at his disposal. First, place water in an empty cell. Second, remove water from a cell and place it in the other empty cell. If at some point, some moment cell I and is empty and both cells I minus 1 and I plus 1 contain water, then it becomes filled with water. That is cool. That is like Minecraft. Find the minimum number of times he needs to perform action 1, place water in an empty cell in order to fill all the empty cells with water. Okay, and there are also blocked cells. Okay. Note that you don't need to minimize the use of action 2. You can use as much. You can do action 2 as many times as you want. Note that blocked cells neither contain water nor can flip place with and Philip place water in them. But each test contains this is a very first line in the yeah, the first line of each test case contains a single integer n, which is between 1 and 100. The number of cells. The next contains a string s filling in. Okay. The ith character is of s is dot if the cell is empty and hash if the cell I is blocked. Okay. And for each test case, put a single number. The minimal amount of actions one needs to fill all empty cells with one. Simply everything. Okay. And int n n given n. Shit. Alright. How do I work this out? No one string cells and en goes to cells. Then see if that does work. That works very well now. Let's say I'm living on this over and water. And yep, this remaining right. So I'm doing all the cells and what is the encoded in that? Hmm. I can play in the first case, I only have to do it twice. Right. I only have okay, wait, that makes sense. Between every block cell, there is a set of empty cells which I want to fill. And if the number is even, then to fill those empty cells between two block cells, I would have to fill do action number one time. Or no, not even one time. I have to do it twice only. That is it. Because I can let's say fill two existing cells and then move the water from the second cell to the third cell if there is a third cell, and that would fill the water in the second cell, which is now empty. That is full. Yes. That is the answer. The first test case will be 2. Answer for the second test case should be 2. Yes, it is 2. And for this, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shit. 4 to 0. And 10 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there is, it should be 5. Oh, in the 10th case, 2. There's a blocked cell. That's why is it 2? How is it 2? In the last case, the second case is based on there and then move this on there. This is also good. Right? In the fifth case, there exists a sequence of action that requires only 2 type 1 actions. Two type 1 actions in this case. Okay, simple. It's the algorithm I have in my mind, but it does not predict 2 as the output for the last case. My algorithm says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is right. But it's not right. Okay, maybe it's not the rules which I missed. I know that you don't need to memorize the action to know that the block cells neither contain order nor can lift place order in them. They don't contain order. Okay. Okay. And yes, this only works if the filled cell, if an empty cell has two filled cells, which are literally adjacent to that empty cell. And if they are filled, then the one in the beginning will also be filled. Then it becomes filled with water. Yes. Time limit per test case. One second memory limit per test case. Oh my god, that is a lot of memory. For this person this now, see the pattern is a big and then the matter is to stick in the string. Right? Right? So I have a string. I can traverse through it. And for why it is alignment like this, video is more sharp x and network and x equal hash, then I will do something and else I will do next. If it is a hash, then I do not do anything. Like, I do something. Because like, I will define few more into this. Start, start, or end, or left. That makes more sense. If I see this, then it is equal to no, yeah, this is not what I want. I want less than right. I want counter C. Yes. If I see this, then counter becomes 0. Counter will count the number of empty cells that I have encountered. And yeah, one more thing I will have to do there. And if I see this, then C++. Yeah. Not that else to anything else. C++ and this is counter increasing. If C equals to 0, then I don't have to do anything. But if it doesn't equal to 0, I will have to do something. And C will become 0 in any case. Let's say, yeah, total count. Let's call this our result. Now, whatever is C, if C is even, if C is equal to 1, then 1. If C is equal to 1, then then plus plus R will be equal to 1. Else R is equal to like whatever the other case is, R will always be increased by C out. But wait, where did the next window go? So I'm putting in window and what is that? That's complicated program. Design of the folder, we conduct this and change the name of this window. Change the name of this window. This trigger key and this will as either and this 8 after input and output and keep it. Okay. No, I will not get this. Yes, I will not get this. Next week, little stick. New line also. I will again have a run and receive 158 and 15. Sorry, that is not what I needed. And yes, what about this case when there are known block cells? Right. First of all, I will initialize this video. I will initialize result. Yeah, when I was doing RPS here, I was having some kind of strange feeling that no, I know. I was speaking, I remember feeling it. No, it is not about internet connection. It is that my mic is not good thing. It does not work. And I'll get a new mic on Monday. Start using and if C, if like C will always be included, right? Before this, I will have to do this case. The same condition. The same picture. Yes, I'm getting up the line. It's now 24527. Why is it the next case? K in the next case is useful because I check all this condition was here and then here, right? Which does not make sense. Like do that, can I do that? That will be good. I'm declaring x here and then instead of making this I will x range base for loop required type or loop variable. I want access to this loop outside. Okay, yeah. Like, what I want is the last string in cells. This minus one. That if the last character in cells is a dot, then do this. Do this and select this input. Like 0 to 0. Right, I guess minus one does not mean anything. I'm going to do the last string dot append back. That is create C string input. Meta context C string. This end. End and then go to that is full. I go to and do that. Space and 2, 3, 0, 5. And this is actually less dot back not So, that seems to have 2505. Yes, that is the answer to be according to my friend. I said, I'm doing a comment right now. Chat is not much. But why is the last one two? It should not be like this. Why to be like according to gently. It doesn't I don't understand. I do not get what is being asked. I think there is a mistake in this. That is the reason I'm asking gently. Right. It's just this thing. Uh, I get the answer for the first book, but the last one according to me should be five, but it is given as two. Who asked you to do the five has which yeah. Yes, step by step, as a and immediate as well, second automatic and step by step taken has a document but the string segments very box right to get the onions consecutive then separated by blocks and the string first is this and this and the first is the key inside you only should say each island connected segments of this with water in the right place and with the application where the article do. But the rule requires that this I like both before and after have to be filled with water. The first one, the length is this, but the answer is 2, or the second one is we cannot passively fill this one. We need to place water at both positions or one and move action to it. But when I move the water from the last one disappears, right? So the past here should be 2 for a no, I will wait problems with the cancel 2 and you can do it 4, so something off. Let's treat the problem carefully again. Let's treat the problem carefully. Place water only once, but as long as the island is connected and we are allowed to move water freely, with action 2, we can do this place water once anywhere in an island. We actually do and move the fill the response. But uh, you have got it wrong. When doing action 2, water from the original level. Basically, I'm moving along and I am moving what inside in any other empty set. That I take and for in any other empty set. That is good. Okay, that is good. That is good. Because if I have at least place a block where the count is 3, then I have an infinite source of water. Right? That does make sense. That's it. Like this, that is 3 equal to greater than equal to 3. Then I can use some position. Then the answer is going to be STU, C out. Someone is there. I will have might चाहिए लोग में से आवाज ही नहीं पता नहीं voice is not clear. Back. Now if I have sub-string, a small island as ChatGPT called it, is at least three islands, at least three empty cells, then I have an infinite source of water and I can take the water from the middle cell if there are three or more and place it in all the empty ones and that's good. Else if count and see like to new line and I would like to get out of this function. That is good. When I see three, right, right, right. Does that make sense? Now if I'm thinking about equal to one, then infinity is coming. Yes, this should catch capacities that will give like this. 3 base and 2 2 3 0 2 3 3 should be done. Should see like 2 2 for the first case, 2 for the second, and then I got 3 for the third case. Oh, this I moved that other option is is I equal now what we need to have is to do 5 0 2 5 0 2 that is 2 plus 1 this this submit and see what you running on this one this one from answer this yeah in the this my answer is this from the 39th number for 52 and 3 39 how do we have and this if equal to 39 gave the error and when I'm the first I will see shit 39 gave me the error and t is being decreased by 1 so I need to keep track of the original t to get this right equal to C, right? And when, right, if it is the first case, then P in minus P will be equal to 1 and if n minus P equal to 15, then we call the solver is the solver that we can the solver do this instead. Like we are string and the first n and C, right? And C and n is going to be in the n goes with n and then as we cells literally the n cells electric. That's one particular case. I did copy the line that was slash message as this. If n minus c equals 39, do this in the n taken and taken cells. The rules are the only thing that I'm taking in the to maybe I can just this cells. Okay, so selection. Select no. That is the order of this. Hmm, hmm, makes sense. Now we are one shit is in else we have to let everything else in string else. Okay, yeah, it's yeah, in n and string else. C1 goes to n and Cn then goes to else, right? And then equal C out. The thing that we can is meter out n and testing and n I have it now equals to C. This is C put out n and then comma and then else and then anyway left left shit I went to the folder. So this is dangerous. This been pasting something random on the kernel and anything not then program 800 yeah, that does make sense. Which not work. I will delete and not it's 20. It's 39 1%. This answer should be answer is 32 and count why get it from 3 is 39. The answer was 3 distinct. Yeah, rather actually the idea is good. I think it's not. The answer was 2 but I found 3. Why didn't I call it illusion like that? Taking this right now to all and look at over why did it sports this was this and this and okay with this like you know, it's like this that's what